This is AZDOME Dashcam M550 Max. Thank you to AZDOME for sending this out. I appreciate that. Before we open, this is the newest model, by the way. It has triple cameras. Yes, front camera, inside the cabin camera, and rear camera or backup camera, built-in Wi-Fi, GPS tracking, night vision, and loop recording. It could be configured in 4K and 2K, which means 4K forward, 2K inside the cabin, or the triple configuration could be 4K forward, 1K inside, and 2K backwards. And inside we have a user's manual that seems to be quite thick to begin with. That means it has a lot of detailed instructions, and yes, they are in all kinds of languages. And get into the camera itself, but first we have the rear camera, which is right here. Let me just disconnect it here. Yep, this connection is a 5-pin regular connection. If you can see it right there, mounting pads for the camera here. You can put this pad here is dual-sided tape that you can stick it on the back window if you want to go that way. The camera seems quite hefty and quite nice, actually. We're going to see how it looks while driving, because that's of course going to be the main point of it. And you have a lot of cable, and how it connects is a tiny micro USB that we used to have for cameras even before this one right here. And let me just plug it real quick so I don't forget. Don't forget one thing, there's a notch on the side. If I can make it focus, right there is that notch right there on the side, and there's a corresponding notch inside here. Make sure you align those two, then plug this part. Okay, with that on the way, we have the power plug, which is comprised of a USB mini to regular USB A. This is for power. And in here we have the clippers with tape that you can stick around if you want to hold the wires with them. We have a plastic pry bar to lift the sides when you hide the cable under the liners. And inside here we have the power plug itself that goes to the cigarette lighter. Really nice and simple. AZDOME printed in there. And then besides that, we have the anti-static pads that are always included with AZDOME cameras. This is one of them, the mount for the front camera, by the way. This is where the tape goes to your window, but you can go first with one of these anti-statics. You put this on the window, front window or rear, whichever you're installing it, depends on the camera. But for this one, we have the front camera. So you put this on your window first, then you place this tape or sticky part of the mount right here. And the reason that is because the GPS unit is on the front of this camera, so it has a clear view of the sky. And here's the main star of the show itself, the 4K camera. Whoa, that actually looks beautiful. Look at that. Whoa. I'm impressed with this new design. Great job, AZDOME. I love this one. And this is the plastic cover on it. Really, this is some hefty camera. We'll see the quality. Whoa. And here's the inside the cabin camera that you see. You can switch it in all sides so it catches a better view. But this one is detachable. And it has a micro HDMI that it connects to just right here. And if you don't want it, you can detach it from the camera. And this is the mount that comes in already placed with the camera. And it just goes out like this. That's like a copy of this one right here. So in case you have two cars, you can put just this mount and you can take the camera with you to your second car. So you don't need to mount and remount all this stuff. And it has quite a lot of angle here actually to move. Whoa, I'm impressed. And here's your GPS unit inside right here. That is magnetically mounted to the camera. So in case you want to just take the camera alone, you can do that. As you see, the GPS unit goes like that. It's just magnetic. Look at that. That is really good thinking. I love that. Wow. Well, AZDOME never disappoints. Okay, I'm going to take some of these plastic wraps. This is the only use AZDOME and all that stuff that you might want to read. Oh, this never gets old. Taking the plastic out, it's always a cool thing. On the side here, you have where the rear camera goes, as I told you, just like this here. Boom. Now you have the back camera connected here, and it comes with a pre-mounted micro SD card right here. And you can just pull it like that. It's a 64 gigabytes SD card that comes with it already pre-installed. That is always appreciated, so you don't need to go buy extra stuff for a new camera. These are your function buttons here with a reset pinhole right there and the microphone pinhole. And the buttons are really nice and easy to check. Of course, you have the power button, menu up, okay, menu down, and the manual menu here for recording and whatnot. There's a app for AZDOME right there. This is their app, and I'm not connected right now, but this is where you would sign up or log in, whatever you want to do, and control the footage, the camera settings. Let me just plug it on power really quick just to see what's going on since we're here already. And the power goes up here on the top. Just keep that in mind, like this. And the camera comes on. Oh, that is nice. These two lights on the sides. I like that. And you have AZDOME. And you have to select your language right here when you first turn it on for the first time. I'm going to click OK on English. I'm going to go -5 here for my time zone. I'm going to change these later, so that's not a problem right now. Please format memory card. Yes, that's always the case when you get a new camera. And you have the settings here is 4K 2160p plus 1080p. And if you click this button right here, you go to your menu. And you have video settings, playback mode, parking monitor, time zone, Wi-Fi, stamp, micro SD card, language, system settings, and that's where you check the version. This is really actually a beautiful camera. Wow, the view is really crystal clear. I could almost film videos with this one now. Okay, let me plug in the rear camera really quick since we're here. Let me take the plastic off. Okay, and the rear camera, very nice and easy, goes here on the side like I told you. Told you so. Right here. Just give it a second to restart and recognize our rear camera. And now you have rear camera. You have this inside camera and you have the front camera, so you have all three cameras right here. As you see, I'm moving the rear camera. Look at that. Wow, I love that. Loop recording, yes. Oh, it goes up to 5 minutes loop recording. Usually most of these cameras go to 3 minutes. This one has 5 minutes. Big up for that. I love that. Okay, so far I just installed the mounting base. That goes right there. That's the easy part, of course. Goes just like this. Let me just place it on there. And you just slide it in. Boom. And then you rotate the angle to your desired way. And we're going to throw in the cables real quick. And as we saw a minute ago, that's where the power cable goes. I'm going to route it from here and put it over so the cable is invisible from here. Then just plug in the power outlet wherever your power is. I'm gonna hide those cables, but just where it goes, it's actually that easy. And if you routed your wires correctly, you should have the rear camera wire coming in here. So we're gonna plug that on the camera really quick. And at this point, it's all done. All you have left to do is we have the power cable there already on that base that has the GPS, and the rear camera cable here that's routed from the ceiling or the liner. Remember the magnet base? Boom. That just goes in there and it is installed. Literally, that's all it takes. And now the cameras are installed. As you see, that's the infrared light right there. And there's on the other side as well. And it looks really good. And the back camera as well. You probably don't see a lot of it because I have it on a mount. But the back camera has been installed successfully as well on the window. And the nighttime drive is actually really good. And so far that I've tested it, it is really crisp, and we just had a rain and it still looks great. So it is a camera that you can definitely rely on even for nighttime. And as you see, this is almost pitch black and those street lights are not really the brightest, but it's just a neighborhood, so it's not gonna be great. But for a dash camera, definitely AZDOME kept their quality really high and really nice with this one. I really love this drive. As you see, you can see the mailboxes, you can see even the houses and the reflections and every single thing that you need to see on a dash camera. This one will deliver it for you, and really in a crisp, high quality. Really beautiful job. I like how those lights keep blinking on the side just to remind you that it's actually recording, and they're very soft and gentle. I really like that. And on the right side, you see the IR LEDs for the night vision camera that films inside the cabin. Really, really nice and really beautiful build, this camera. Really great job, AZDOME. So this is daytime driving, absolutely crisp, clear as you see. You can even check how many clouds you have in the sky. You see the trees, the valleys, everything is actually crisp, clear in 4K with this AZDOME M550 Max. They did a really great job with the angle. As you see, even though it's a wide angle, it does not distort the sides. That is a great point to see here, because a lot of cameras, when they get into the really wide angles, you'll see distortion on the sides. Not in this camera. This one keeps the sides completely straight and visually pleasing in a manner that not a lot of cameras do it this way. Really beautiful, and I really love the quality. As you see, even under the shadows and shades and all that, it remains consistent, high quality. And now, let's go to the rear camera and see what we have to see there. And here's the rear camera. It is a little bit overcast today, and that line on the window is just the lines that all cars have. And the view is really good for 1080p, of course. I'm not expecting 4K to be just like the front, but it's enough for evidence. The angle on the back camera now might be quite wide. So as you see, I'm not sure if you can see on the very bottom corners, on the bottom, left and right, you can actually almost see where the car door starts, or the hatch, whatever you want to call it. This is an SUV, so it might have the door a little bit higher. But basically, this camera is really wide. And it's quite a clear camera for especially evidence that you might need in a car. Oh yeah, it will do all of that. And the indoor camera as well is really great, but it's a little bit higher quality than the rear camera, so I would put it in between in quality between the rear and the front. Overall, I am really pleased with this camera, and again, thank you to AZDOME for sending it my way. As I said, I did not buy it with my own money. They sent it my way for a review, but all the opinions and tests that you see and hear in this video are 100% mine. They have no input on how the video comes out or what I say on the video. But so far, I'm extremely pleased with the quality, with the ease of use, with the GPS accuracy, with everything that the camera has to offer, especially the features and the extra part that I mentioned earlier, that you can record loops of 5 minutes, not only 3 minutes. That for me is a big plus. I just hope all the other cameras do the same. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye!